Vincenzo's Gold Crypto Investing this June the 5th, 2025, noontime daily cryptocurrency, the blockchain technology, the gold and silver bullion update was having an incredible day, but there might be a reversal as the US dollar was getting hammered this morning. And as we do know, we're going to get more into the education and the information on the effects of the US dollar and money devaluation and currency devaluations and purchasing powers and how and the effects that has to do in the correlation on the assets that we purchase, whether it be real estate, stocks, housing, bonds, mutual funds, and the rest of it. But you can see the dollar was getting hammered, but there's been a reversal. I haven't seen any news break yet. June 5th Treasury yield turns higher following Trump XI call, so market talk. So at 11:49, that's what the outside noise was. Trump, I haven't delved into this Treasury yield along with Trump talking to, it looks like China had a big reversal as the dollar was getting hammered again today. It was down almost 1%. Now it's been rallying and it's turned the markets over as the gold market was going higher, nearing 3,400, and the mining sector was going up. The silver bullion was up 5%, and some of these mining stocks were up 15-16%, and now they're starting to correct a little bit. You can see here in the most recent 15 minutes to go along with that news, but I would expect these to rebound today or consolidate sideways because they've been pumping very, very strong the last few days. But if we look at the Bitcoin price, the same thing. The Bitcoin price today was up almost $1,000 or a little over 1%. But about the same time that the mining sector turned around, the cryptos turned around too. And that was to do with apparently the Trump news with China. And you can see here, if we go into the daily time frame, what we're looking at going along with, and let's do this real quick and focus so we don't get a phone call because my phone's been blowing up today here at work. We don't want it to throw us off. But if you see here in the daily time frame, we've been trading down like we thought we would. As we do know, we've been in this rising channel for about 3 to 4 weeks, ever since that double bottom, that an area of major support, that was our first initial lower target, and we thought there'd be a rebound, but it's been in this rising channel ever since. And then now it is attempting to break out of it here, where you had 1, 2, 3, 4 days in a row of pretty significant with uptrending for the days volume as it was attempting a breakout, right? And now it's been trading sideways. You can see that probability-based computer algorithm part of our track that we've created that goes into the news and the technicals and our basket that we go into to make forecasts, short to medium range and long term. You can see it showed it going down and retesting initially this 97,000 near the 100-day moving average, and then eventually the major bullish or bearish support level at 91,000 near where the 200-day moving average is, right? And we've been trading sideways to down. We've been emphasizing that we've been thinking we were still going to hit some of these lower targets at $57,000, $58,000. But we had to do this mountain double top here first, apparently, right? Because the crypto altcoins and a lot of the secondary coins have pumped from their lows. Some of them have went to new highs, but most of them aren't even close to their January highs, right? So it's very interesting. And members of Jabroni Killers, video description and or pinned comment, cheapest and easiest to help support a channel and best value for the education, the information, and the truth and trustful information that you get from a source here that's looking out for you and created for the retail trader and investor, right? We're putting price targets out to our members only, and we're going to have our XLM, our Bitcoin, our Ethereum, our Shiba Inu, and the Doge, baby, 2025, what we expect for the 2025 lows, and then what we expect to see for our highs from here on out for 2025, right? So we'll give those end of the year targets, what we expect from here on out as we're about at the halfway point of the year. But what I'm looking for the next few days is, does this come down and retest the $97,000? If we move along to the XLM in this chart, you can see we got the monthly moving averages, and we're sitting just above the 50-day moving average in red there. The red, the blue, and the green are all what our normal moving averages are. And you can see here in the monthly time frame, that's where we're at. And in the monthly time frame, you can see if this ever was to break out to the upside, you can see it's similar to what we had happen here. And unfortunately, just like the XRP, coin, nobody on this station own this back here, or they wouldn't be caring about what the price is doing on a day-to-day basis or a year-to-year basis, because they would be so much in the profit already. But you can see here, this was in the same kind of symmetrical triangle running parallel from left to right, where you have your overhead or underneath uptrending support, your overhead descending upper resistance, and it's pretty much running and it's facing straight. It's not angling up or down. And then it broke out to the upside, and you can see a technical move out of there would have been like this, from the bottom of that wedge all the way up to right about where you could say the top of that wedge started, and then you could go to the point of a breakout. And look at that. It got you right up into where the consolidation zone was, but it got you onto the right idea, showing that you had a potential of a massive, massive move. And if we had a crypto station out during this and we had that showing a forecast, showing a potential 5x move from there, everybody would have laughed coming out of there after that consolidation. But it ended up coming all the way up here initially for a 28 times your return on your money from just the point of the breakout, right? Where if you bought it near the top part of this consolidation, if you were seeing it at the very last second, you still 28x your money, let alone to where you went a couple of short years later, because you had that initial dump in 2017, came all the way down, a big dump, and then you rallied all the way in to the final end of that pump. So in all actuality, the full length of that pump from start to finish was a 31,000% move. That was life-changing. That means if you had $1 on it, you now had $31,000, which means very little to nobody had that, right? Almost nobody had that the whole time from bottom to top. But that's the same thing in the same consolidation. Notice the similarities in this consolidation now. It's the same exact thing. It's a symmetrical triangle. It's running parallel. You have descending overhead resistance, right? The first hit was back here. Let's get that back up. The first hit was back here in 2018, then in 2021, and then just now in November, December, right? 2024, November, 25, December, uptrending support, right? And then the point of a breakout would be from the bottom to the top, just like the last one. And I'm not calling for a $20 XLM, but I'm saying on the point of a breakout, that is possible, and you already have proof, and you already have an area that this happened to before. And I'm saying, what if that does happen again? That is a possibility. What's more likely is we get to the $1.50 to $2 range. But look at the confluency in another area with our other chart. While I believe that we're going to go back down to this 18 cents, it lines up beautifully within this symmetrical triangle. If you go back to our other chart that we always use over here with the XLM, and that's another reason that led us to believe that we were going to consolidate down after we hit that 63 cents, because it lined up in that other chart that we have, and that 18 cents lines up beautifully with that other chart, and that's why I believe we're going there, and that would be a great accumulation zone. Not as good as if you would have bought down here when it was at 9 cents or 15 cents or 10 cents, but still from the point of our last breakout, if you buy it at 18 cents, it's only about a 1x move off its low versus a 9x move off that low, and it's currently down, would be about a 70% retracement from its high, right? So that's very important. I got to let you go. I got some scumbags show up on my lunch. We're going to make another video for the rest of these coins here in a minute. Peace and love. The Rex Eyebrow, J.